Welcome, guys. Oh man, what a long week I had. Just to let you know, my baby girl, she got baptized, so that was why I was missing for a while. I was doing test streams, video games. Maybe if you like it, but let's get into Loki. I don't know if I did post a first episode video, but we're gonna do 1 and 3 right now. Bang it right out, real quick. So, me personally, others could think differently, and that's fine. I think Loki is the glue that explains all the crazy stuff that's happened in Marvel since Thanos snap, multi-universe, Quantumania, and even Spider-Man in the multiverse. So, this is where I think Loki and Tom Hiddleston, great actor, and his character is perfect. And it's doing exactly for those that do not read comic books, and that's fine. You could, I would invest for you to go into learn the comic books. But Loki, in a weird, well, at least in the story arc that they're doing right now, in a weird way, Loki is, in a sense, the glue to piece together those random small loopholes that you'd be like, oh, no, that doesn't make sense. It's a loophole. I think Loki is the story arc that is tying in those loopholes or the questions and the answers you want. It's him. Now, granted, some might not know, but it has happened because he took the Tesseract. Now you gotta remember, he took it not once, but twice. But in 2 different times in the story arc. So, once you figure that out, you'll start to see the pieces of his decision and what it did. And then when you see the first season of Loki, you understand how his story that he was in, it broke how Marvel timeline goes, and then he fractured it. So it does build up to it, and it does build up to a lot of what Marvel has done. It does. It explains a lot, and the things that they're trying to do, it explains a lot. So for you guys, I don't want you to sit there and be like, oh, I'm done with superhero movies. Oh, this sucks, blah, 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 blah. No. Every little thing is intricate because unless you've read the comic books, you would understand it. If you haven't read the comic books, yes, I would agree with you. It makes no sense. Doesn't explain anything. The one thing that I will give Stan Lee and Jack Kirby credit for is they created a world that, yes, as a superhero, in a real world doesn't make sense. But in the grand scheme of things, they made it make sense. And even, I'll give them this. This is my battle with me and DC. And I still love DC. Don't get me wrong. I love DC. But they made sure that you understood how a timeline works. So, I'm going to use this as an example. When Jean Grey and Cyclops had Cable, they sent them to the future. Now, Cable's the only person that fractures the normal timeline because he's outside of it. But he comes back to it. Deadpool could do the same thing. He could fracture time, go somewhere else, and come back. So there's characters that fracture the timeline, which is why it's like this is the idea of multi-universes and what's going on. And Loki, as much as probably he's a dick to his family and is mischievous, but he does have a heart of trying to do good, but it's just in his nature to do mischievous things. But he's trying to make sure things are going the right way, but things are fracturing, which is why we had all those other movies. So, for those, I would say, haters, don't hate. Read the comic book and you'd understand what they're pulling from to make the story go forward. Taking the comic book and making it right. Granted, there's probably only 2 movies that I could think of that made it right. Watchmen and what was the other one by Frank Miller? I'm drawing a blank. So Watchmen, and then there's the one by Frank Miller, which was almost like black and white, but color only when it needed to be for certain characters. And I'm drawing a blank. You guys could, if you've read them, you know I'm drawing a blank. But Loki is probably the glue to understanding what projection Marvel's going with. That's all I'm gonna say. I loved everything from episode 1, 2, and 3. 3 was perfect because then it loops around to figuring out how Kang became Kang. So when the next movie comes out, that's going to be more interesting than anything. I mean, we already had Quantumania, Ant-Man and Wasp. So they pulled a panel from the comic book of the Council of Kings. So now I'm really interested to see the next movie they do, just because of that shot, which was pulled from a comic book. So we'll see. Sorry I've been away for a bit. I had some family stuff, so I'm the Dark One. I'm going to be out. Be ready for the next one that's going to drop a couple weeks. If you want, like, subscribe, follow me if you get an alert. I'm just going to be testing out, playing video games, see how the thing goes for now. Let me know in the comments. Tell me what game you want me to play. That's about it. All right. I'm out. Love, peace, chicken grease. Keep it I'm just kidding. No. Love, peace, chicken grease. Have fun. Be safe. Enjoy.